Welcome back, guys, to Resilient Rammie lesson number 4. So just want to say a quick thank you for all your hard work so far. You're doing great. So just having a quick little think about what we did last week. So we looked at the 4 things about myself. So looking at how we're all different and unique, but also share some similarities as well. And then we also looked at self-esteem. So we looked at the meaning of self-esteem as well, and why it's great to have a positive self-esteem. Okay, so moving on to this week, so we're going to be looking at all the things that we're really good at, so all our strengths, and we're also going to be looking at our areas for improvement as well. And then we're going to be looking at a goal, so something we want to get better at as well, and how we're going to do this. And we're going to use Rammie today to show you guys how he took one thing he wanted to get better at and then use small steps to help him reach his goal. So moving on to activity number 1. So we're going to be looking at strengths and skills. So really important activity, as we're going to be using your work to help throughout the lesson. So make sure you do it, but also make sure you keep hold of your work as well. So in groups, if you're at school, you can work in small little groups, or if you're at home, you can work on your own or with a family member. Can you create a word bank by writing a big list of skills and strengths that you or someone else may have? So you can make this into a competition, so a nice fun little competition with another group or with another person at home. So you could go against your brother or sister or a parent and just see who can create the biggest list. So all you need to do is create a big list of what you guys or someone else could be good at. So it could be listening, it could be baking cakes, you could be good at football, you could be good at talking to other people, you could be good at helping people. So there's just a few to get you started, but can you write as big list as possible of all the skills and strengths that you can think of, okay? So hopefully you guys have got a really big list of skills and strengths that you could think of. So lots of different things that people could be good at. So now can you share your word bank with someone else and see if you can add any extra skills or strengths that you haven't put down. So if you're at school, you could have a look at someone else's list, another group's list, or if you're at home, you might go around your family members and ask for lots of skills and strengths that you can add to your word bank. So the bigger the word bank, the better, really. So just looking at my word bank, I've got lots of different words that I'm good at, some of them, but also that other people could be good at. So I've got honest, listening, communication, good at cooking, good at football, teaching, teamwork, maths, English, remembering things, good at dancing. Okay, so there's lots of skills and strengths that I have got, so you could use some of mine and add to your word bank as well. So moving on to activity number 2. So hopefully you guys now have got a humongous list of lots of skills and strengths. During this activity, we're going to be looking at what you're good at. So what are your skills and strengths? First of all, you will need to create your own little worksheet. Okay, so on the following slide, I've got an example that you could copy. So you'll just need a piece of paper, and then you could draw something similar to my worksheet. So it could be a table, or you could do it in circles. It just needs to have 3 sections that you can write lots of skills and strengths in. So one section being always, so being green, one section being sometimes is orange, and then one section that is rarely, that is in red. Okay, once you've done that, we can move on to the good bit. Okay, so what you're going to do then is using your strengths and skill list, so your word bank. You're going to pick out one word from it, and then you're going to decide if it's always, sometimes, or rarely a strength of yours. Okay, so if we think about myself, so if I have a look at my word bank here, I'm going to pick one out. So dancing, okay, so I've got dancing down. Dancing for me is not a skill that I'm very good at, so I put it in the rarely section. Okay, then I would have a look at my skill and strength one again. Oh, I'm going to pick out organisation. Okay, so being organised, I think that's something that I'm always good at. I think I'm always organised, so it would be in the always section. Okay, so you guys are going to do this and work your way through your word bank. Okay, so you can do it for every single one, and you're going to decide if it's a skill you're always good at, or sometimes, or rarely. Okay, so fill it up, try and put them all down. Okay, just remember, it's really useful to know what we're good at, but also what we're not so good at as well, so we can improve. Okay, so looking forward to seeing your work, guys. Fantastic work, guys. So hopefully you worked your way through your word bank and had a look at what strengths and skills that you're really good at, that sometimes good at, and then not so often, so something you can look to improve. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is area for improvement, so what we want to improve in. So using the activity we've just done, can you write down a couple of things that you would like to get better at, and keep hold of this answer as we'll use it during the next lesson. Okay, so for example, you could, if you put cooking down is something you're not very good at, so you're rarely good at it, that could be something you look to get better at. So for me, dancing was something that we spoke about that I wasn't very good at, and that might be something I want to improve. Okay, so just have a think about what you want to get better at. Also, you could be quite good at it already and you want to improve. So you could have football down as something you're good at, but also you might want to get even better. So you could put that down as well. Okay, so just anything that you want to get better at. So moving on to activity number 4. So hopefully now we've got a few ideas of what things we want to get better at. Okay, and now we're going to look at how we can get better. Okay, and we're going to be using Rammie to help us do this. So we can use something called a step coping plan to help us get better at skills. So this involves breaking down the skill into small steps, looking at the challenges we may face, but also who could help us as well. Okay, so Rammie, our mascot, so he did this activity in the previous one. He wanted to get better at running. So he used to do something called a daily mile that you guys might have done at school before. But unfortunately, he was a little bit slow and found it quite hard to keep up with his friends. So he wanted to get better at running and wanted to be able to complete the daily mile pretty quick. Okay, so you guys are going to help him get better. Okay, so using the statements on the next slide, can you write them down for me and then put them in order you think Rammie would do them in order to reach his goal of completing the daily mile? Okay. So moving on to activity number 5. So hopefully you guys have had a little go at looking at the small steps and then putting them in order to help Rammie complete his goal of running the daily mile. Okay, so having a look at the 5 small steps, we've got walk a mile first, so start nice and slow, make it nice and easy. The second one would be run half a mile, walk the rest. Then to run 3/4 of a mile, walk the rest. The fourth step being run the full mile, and then finally before achieving his goal, it would be run the full mile while sprinting the last 10 seconds. So they're the steps in order. So it's about small little steps. So each step might take a week, 2 weeks to complete before moving on to the next one. It's all about small steps to make it easier for you guys to achieve the goal at the end. Okay, so just to complete the plan to help Rammie successfully achieve his goal, can you think about the following questions and write your answers next to the steps? Okay, so you're going to be thinking about what challenges might Rammie face during this goal, who could help Rammie complete the goal, also what helpful thoughts could Rammie use to make them steps a little bit easier. Once you've done this, can you share your answers with other people, and they might be able to support you as well and add a few extra things in as well. Okay, good stuff. Super work, guys. So hopefully now we're near at the end of completing Rammie's plan to help him achieve his goal of completing a daily mile. So now we've got the small little steps in order, and then also hopefully now we've got the support Rammie could have to help him achieve his goal. So that could be UE, friends, family, the club, and then we go looking at the challenges, so identifying how it might be quite hard to complete. So it could be the weather outside, maybe not run as much as he usually does, it might be too hard, he might give up, and then also distractions as well. So instead of running, he might be playing on his PlayStation instead, okay, which isn't great. Helpful thoughts as well to help him achieve the goal and do these small steps could be, I can do this, or I'm amazing at this, or it's going to be so fun when I can keep up with my friends. So there are a few little helpful thoughts that you could use. So hopefully now you've got a nice plan ready to give Rammie to help him achieve his goal. Okay? So guys, activity number 6, so the last activity of the lesson. Hopefully now you guys have a good understanding, a good idea of how to get better at something, so how a step coping plan works. So all I want you guys to do is to make sure you keep hold of your Rammies Step Coping Plan that you've created, but also the answers to what you want to get better at. So you will need these 2 things for next week's lesson, so make sure you keep hold of them. Okay, so the last activity is the draw and write, what you guys have done before. So again, making sure you use a different colour pencil. Can you go to your draw and write and add anything that you have learned from this lesson to it? Okay, so last bit from me, thank you very much again. Okay, super 4 weeks so far, we've got 2 left. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and looking forward to next week as well. Okay, so thank you very much.